you can get one to like West Camp. There were a lot of whole bunch of people in there. I mean, U.S. troops right after the war, and they stayed there for for a while. So I would say maybe 6, 7 years old. So like in concentration camp, because they had all the housing there, the barracks and all this, and they just used the whole facilities, And that's why every day I was confronted with the U.S. because they came to Dachau and liberated the concentration camp and the whole thing, the whole Germany actually, and then they stayed there for, not in all the time. Because there was like a little creek and there was like a 12-inch pipe and we went over this and then we just snuck in and, asked for, chewing gum or whatever because, back then after the war, Germany, nobody had anything. Germany was poor. I mean, even in Munich and from the World War II, like demolished from bombs. And like I said, still the Americans were still there.
Yeah.
And I remember also what you can write too. It's like a lot of the golf courses in Bavaria, thanks to the Americans, they built most of them. Because the officers needed. I mean, they were settled in. Not only for after the liberation, they stayed until. Most of the Americans, I remember, they brought their music,
Yeah.
Before in Germany, you just had like folk music and stuff, and then of course the Beatles came. But then it's like Elvis was huge, and Chuck Berry and all this. I mean, they brought their music with them,
Yeah.
So
wait, I'm still wondering how often did you sneak into the American camps?
Oh, almost every day. Because it was so easy, there was no, sometimes in the guards, they just let us go. I mean, they had some guards there too, but they just let us go. And then I remember there was a big car junkyard, it was the first time I saw an American car, and they had all these old American cars there.
Yeah.
As a junkyard, and, we played there, or it's like, I mean, they were all real friendly, let's put it this way.
Yeah.
They never, and then they had every other year, they had I think it was every year they had an open house. Kind of like, and they had, it was just like a little, how should I say it? It was smaller than the fairgrounds. They had, like little games and stuff, and everybody was invited. So the Germans could see what they're doing, and then they had tanks there. You could see the tanks. You could go inside, and the jeeps and the American trucks and everything.
Yeah.
So I remember I was there in an open house, and back then Dachau was maybe 15, 20,000, and there were at least 15 or 20,000 troops there.
Oh, okay.
And see, you all can imagine, maybe because Dachau only got a bad name because of the concentration camp, but Dachau is 1,200 years old,
Yeah.
The main thing was to protect the borders because of, when East Germany was created. Because I'm sure if they wouldn't stay, then the Russians would go farther. I mean, they had East Germany and they went into Czechoslovakia, to Prague. And if the Americans wouldn't be there, the Russians would come into Germany because Germany was all bombed out. There was nothing left. There was no whatever there. There was no food, no work, or nothing, and it would have been for Germany so easy, was so easy to just take over, but they couldn't because the Americans came in. They started building with like financial help from the U.S.
Yeah.
That's what I, learned in school. And I mean, there was always, like I said, there was always some idiots, some students or whatever, like they had signs like "Ami, go home." Because the Americans, they call them Amis.
Oh.
I got my first bus with Americans. I still remember there was these four guys in a baby blue Beetle sitting there by the lake and listening to the music. They had a battery operated turntable.
Yeah.
Like listening to Jimi Hendrix and stuff. And I just rode my bicycle and then I circled around a couple times and they called me over and, talked to me.
How old were you?
Huh?
How old were you?
I was like 12 years old.
Oh.
And they gave me a sip of wine and want a drink. Which is true.
Yeah.
And then a lot of German Fräulein were married to Americans.
Oh, okay.
Because they met each other, and then when the guy was finished with this assignment here, then they moved back with them to America. Then everybody wanted a German Fräulein. It was like I said, you could find a job in no time,
Yeah.
Even later, and it was good pay too, especially in the construction, And there was always construction, always. I mean, I remember back then there was hardly any other. I went to Hawaii and quit my job and came back, and 2 days later I had another job.